In this video, we show you how to use external Adat devices with Apollo interfaces. Adat is a digital audio format that allows you to send up to 8 channels of digital audio from one device to another. Adat signals are transmitted with optical cables using toslink connectors. The amount of channels that can be transmitted depends on the sample rate that you use. One Adat cable can carry 8 channels of audio at sample rates of 44.1 and 48 kHz, 4 channels at 88.2 and 96 kHz, and 2 channels at 176.4 and 192 kHz. Some devices like rack-mount Apollo interfaces offer multiple Adat ports that can be combined to provide higher channel counts at sample rates of 88.2 and above. This allows you to transmit 8 channels at 88.2 and 96 kHz, or 4 channels at 176.4 and 192 kHz. Most Apollo interfaces feature Adat connections, except for Apollo Solo, Apollo 16, and Apollo X16. All Apollo twin interfaces have one optical input that can be used to expand the twin's available inputs with an external device, such as a preamp with an Adat output. Apollo X4, Apollo 8P, and Apollo X8P have both optical inputs and outputs that can be used for connecting any type of external gear that supports Adat or SPDIF. To send and receive Adat signals with these 3 Apollo models, make sure to set the digital input and output to Adat on the Hardware tab of Console Settings. Apollo X6, Apollo X8, Apollo 8, and the original Silver Apollo have dedicated optical Adat inputs and outputs. Apollo rack-mount models have 2 Adat inputs and outputs that can be used to get higher channel counts at sample rates of 88.2 and above. When connecting 2 digital devices via Adat, the devices need to be synced to the same clock source, otherwise digital artifacts like pops and clicks will occur. Both devices must also be set to the same sample rate. When connecting an external device to the Adat input of an Apollo, you can clock the Apollo to the incoming Adat signal by setting the clock source and console to Adat. Make sure to also set the same sample rate on both devices. If the external Adat device has word clock connections, you can use the Apollo as the master clock by connecting a BNC cable from the word clock output of the Apollo to the word clock input of the external device and setting the external device's clock source to word clock. When connecting an external device to the Adat output of the Apollo, leave the clock source and console set to internal and set the clock source of the external device to Adat.